Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming. Well, just a quick background. I'm Randy Howell. Started out, oh man, officially about 2013, I called myself a life coach. And I was helping people, and it was cool, but I wasn't feeling fulfilled because I didn't feel like I was giving people what they needed to actually tackle this world we live in and do it at a high level consistently. And what I've come to realize was, and this was from me looking at myself, I wasn't living in my truth when I was helping these people. I was actually living in a facade. I was living behind a proverbial veil. I was running from things because I was afraid to lose people. And I come to realize that while I was trying to save my relationships with people that I really didn't have a relationship with, I was losing the relationship with the people that I actually was with. So I had to find a way to stand within my truth. And what better way to help the world than to help other people live within their truth? So hence, that's where the truth coach came from. Because if we can't live in our truth, how can we live life? You can't. You're gonna live a fake life. You're gonna live that life that people live when they get dressed up to go to the job, but then when they get home, they're depressed and they close all the blinds and they don't answer the phone and they just get ready for the next day. But see, that's not reality for me, because the sun always shines and it will heal you if you go out into it. And to me, sunshine is the truth all the time. So today, what we're going to start with now, I like to talk. I love to talk. I love to answer questions. I love to be stumped. If you've read the book and you have something you want to talk about, let's go. If you just got a question, let's rock. Don't hesitate. I don't think there's anything that I won't tackle. And if I can't tackle it, I will come back with an answer. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to start with the truth of the matter is. Now, I have a copyrighted approach that I use. It's called the Sims approach. And what the Sims approach is, we got to talk about the story. But I don't want to hear the story that everybody has told you. I want to hear your story. But I want to hear from your eyes, from your perspective. What does that mean, Coach? If you weren't happy with the way you were chastised, say it. If you weren't happy with the fact that every time you were getting dropped off somewhere, let me know. See, this is your story. But see, you got to think, people, we get so mad at those that are playing a part in our movie. But you know, sometimes these people don't know they're doing you wrong. But you have to be willing to say, even if they don't accept it, I did not like that part. Because this is how you heal. See, this is how you heal. You can hide these things all of your life. And at the end, you're going to get a good speech about you. But how did you feel the moment before you left? See, I want to be happy and fulfilled when I leave. And the only way to do that is to leave it all on the table. Period. No matter, see, one thing I've come to believe, and I also know, a relationship, no matter who it's with, no matter what happened, can be some kind of way reconciled. But we only get one life to live. The minute that I just used, I don't get it back. So stop wasting your truth trying to say something that you're never going to see again anyway. All right, so I'm going to start off with the story. What is your story? Your story is the most important component in the process of changing your life in a new direction. Why? Because it's the very thing you'll hold on to that will define you. Furthermore, your story can have multiple layers, so being very, very transparent is important. See, that's the word that we're afraid of, transparency. But you got to be transparent. I'm a father. If I'm not transparent, how can I expect them to be transparent to me? I don't want to be the parent that is going, oh, babe, I sure hope them girls continue to communicate with me when they get 15, 16, 17, 18 and don't go to somebody else. But by me walking to them and being transparent to who I was and who I am now, I now get the same in return. Acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses is also an important key to transforming your life. Understand that there may be outside influences that dictate how your story will be told. It could be trauma, abandonment issues, death, loss, isolation, abuse, just to name a few. Shedding light on negative moments will be an emotional roller coaster. Each can trigger old emotions and will become uncomfortable. But be brave. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be free. You will truly be the author of your story and able to identify if you were the victim, the villain, or victor, and then ensure that the final results end victoriously. It's simple. It's not hard. Randy I was stuck. I was stuck at 10 years old. Didn't realize it. 10 years old. I consider myself a very good husband, a very good father. I work very hard at it, so I will speak it to the people. I work daily for it. But I wasn't being the best partner because I was still battling issues that I was afraid to talk about. I just wanted to act about. My wife would always tell me, babe, without you, we'll be nothing. And then she would give me a blueprint. Boom, 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 boom. I never paid attention to the blueprint because I was in my ego. I was living in my past and I was wanting to be heard because I was this 10-year-old kid that was always told, shh, be quiet. Listen to your grown folks. You don't know what you're talking about. Keep living, you'll learn one day. And I'm going, man, y'all don't really know what's going on in this brain of mine. I am observing everything because you won't let me speak. But you also won't listen to what I have to say. So what did this married man do? I wouldn't let this woman talk. Because she need to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And she's like, I feel you. I don't know you know what you're talking about, dude, but I do too. And I'm like, no, I need to speak. I had to stand up to my past. And I had to let the past know that, you know what? It's okay. I've been positioned now where my voice should be heard. But before I can speak, I have to learn how to listen. But I also had to man up to my past. And I had to say, you know what, past? I got to go apologize to the one person that the atmosphere put here for me, and that was her. And I said, it's my fault. Everything. All of it's been my fault. How do you know? Because I went back and I looked at the picture. And I was like, man, those strokes sure stay the same at certain times. Every time we get into it, it's the same argument, just a different topic. But once you get to it, it's the same topic. I was like, why is it the same topic? Dude, because you don't like to damn listen. You don't like to listen. Because I was still a 10-year-old kid that I needed to release from prison. So when I went to her and I said, I'm going to start listening, I let that door open and the kid just flew away. Phew. What happens? Start raising them differently. Because I wasn't letting them talk. I was being a product of my environment. But by me living in my truth, I now truly can become a good father. Because I'm willing to accept criticism from those that I raise. Because guess what? They have a voice. They have a voice, but we don't want to listen to the kids. They're the future. Why not start now? See, that was back in the 80s and the 90s. I was like, look, I'm going to be the future. And they like, so you'll get your chance. Nah. I want each one of you, when you look in the mirror, ask yourself, what is my story? What is my story? Not the one that everybody talks about when you go to family reunions or when you go out to dinner with your friends. What's the story you talk about when you're in your quiet space? See, that's the one that's going to make you whole. What things don't make you tick? What things stop the clock? What things take you back to the corner or the closet or the dark place? Those are the things that you need to attack. Stop letting this big old picture of success cloud those small things that can make you depressed. See, that's the thing we have to think about. We are alone a lot more than we are with people. So we are depressed a lot more than we are happy. But nobody wants to talk about that part. Because see, you can be depressed in your sleep. It comes through your dreams when you don't even know what the hell's going on. And you're like, man, why is it so chaotic? Because your life is chaotic. Because you've never settled your mind to be the person that you're supposed to be. I just want you all to do that. I just want you all to do that. And I'm going to tell you something, I'm a happy man. Smile all the time. And I'm genuinely happy. Every day is a beautiful day for me. Every day is a beautiful day for me because I leave it all on the floor every day. Every day. I want you to wake up, because everybody, I know I do, every morning the first thing I do is I use the bathroom. When you go to the bathroom, you're going to pass a mirror. You're going to see yourself. Stop neglecting that moment in life. Stop. Look at how sleepy you are, and let yourself know how great you are then. Let you know that yesterday was then, but I live in the now, and I am the greatest. I am going to provide the best way I can. Everybody I see, I'm going to make happy today because I love me first before I love you. I can't love you if I don't love myself. Then lay back down. Watch how good you feel when you wake back up. Poof. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it, because you've already gave yourself everything, the gas you needed to start your day. Boss pissed you off yesterday. You're going to go see him tomorrow because you need that check, right? Leave it there. Take a new person in and let them think about what happened. Oh, I did not expect for him to speak to me this morning, because you're the past. I got bigger things to do, so if I go ahead and speak to you, I did that then. Now I can move forward. Every day do the same thing. I'm great. I'm amazing. Made a mistake yesterday, I'm going to fix it today and I won't make it again. If I make it again, I'm going to fix it again. Don't be afraid to say I'm sorry. Just don't make it a habit. We all have. Everybody said I'm sorry about the same thing too many times. Realize that you begin to be a reporter instead of a repenter. I don't work 48, so I got to get it right. And I still make that mistake, but I work daily to get it right. That's all I can ask for you to do. Work daily to get it right. I can't wait for somebody to want to talk to Coach about their story, because I love hearing them and I love giving my insight. Unbiased opinions on things is the best thing someone can receive, because you can get the most out of it. Anybody got anything for Coach today? I know somebody got something. I've seen too many smiles and eyebrows. Nothing. I can't be that good.
Well, I'm going to read. Y'all may not have a question, but I know whenever I first bought the first chapter, and this is a good, comfortable, short read. It's like, sometimes it's like half a page, and I was telling Randy earlier, I said, I can't pull just one thing out of it. I have to read the whole thing. But it is number 9. It's called Self-Inflicted Wounds. Stop harming yourself to protect others, better known as self-inflicted wounds. During the process that we call our raising, every instance will not be as you expected, and not all results will lead to the right direction. At some point, there will be a crossroad where you have to decide to make yourself happy or protect those around you. Self-inflicted wounds. Unfortunately, during your years before adulthood, individuals influence, will make mistakes unintentionally. Trial and error while facing uncharted territory by these individuals is just part of the process. As your life starts to develop and you work to change the narrative, those individuals may not agree with the decisions, but if these changes promote progression within your journey, understand it's okay to make decisions that benefit your vision. You do not have to harm yourself to protect others' feelings. Choosing yourself is imperative, because nor doing so will leave you feeling alone and unhappy. You create your own safe place, so I say choose the place where you are in total control. That's my favorite chapter. It's my favorite chapter because I'm a people pleaser, and a lot of times when I'm out trying to please other people, I forget about myself. I forget about myself a lot. So right now, especially with where I am in life, I'm more in a space where I'm more self-aware of what I do for others, and I protect what I can do for others, which is being a giver. I protect those for the ones that deserve it. So that's where I am. Like, so if you see me kind of pulling back from you, it's not that I don't love you or anything, but at that moment, I feel that you're a taker and you're not a giver, and I know I'm a giver. So guess what? I'm not about to give you 99% of me today because you don't deserve it. Because every time I see you, you're taking my breath away and you're sucking the life out of me. Sometimes I need to be important too. And I've also noticed within this year that I'm the strong friend. I got a lot of friends. They're strong in their own way, but when it comes down to their life and needing advice and things of that nature, I get the phone call and it's so much poured on me, and I am burdened and I'm weighed down by the end of the day. Not only do I get it from my full-time job, but even at the studio, I get so many putting their burdens on me, and I'm not that friend where if you call me and you give me your burden, it's not just gonna be right there in the studio. I'm bringing it home, and I'm praying. And I'm tossing and turning, making sure that you're okay. And I'm losing a lot of sleep, but within that same instance, it could be the next day, I'll call with an issue. Hey girl, I need some advice on something. They'll listen. And this is whenever I just was like, you know what? I'm done with you. I started plucking them out. So literally, I could ask for advice. Girl, you'll be all right. But let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. It was an automatic shutdown. Too much. So I saw one-sided friendships. And I started literally plucking people out and forming new relationships. Hence to why y'all are here. Like Lindsay, she used to mean mug me at the gym. She'll say that's not true. She'll say it's not true. You know how you can pick out good people? So I got a mean mug on me too. So I used to look at it and be like, man, whatever. You gonna be my friend one day. That's why I used to say every morning when I came into the gym, I was like, she just looked like that. Like, anybody's scared of her for real. She's gonna be my friend in a minute. So literally, after about a couple of weeks, she asked me about one of my sports bras. I said, gotcha. I'm gonna tell you where I got it from. We're gonna be friends in a minute. And kid you not, every week I would break down her wall. And I hope that I'm not overstepping. I will break down her wall, but I'm gonna tell you something about me. I believe that I have a strong spirit of discernment. Rather than me get mad at her for being mean mugging, I said to myself, it's something deeper. And the reason why I kept saying you gonna be my friend one day is because I knew that she needed me. This is where I was saving myself. I knew that she needed me in more ways than she knew that she needed me. And one day, it was a moment in the gym, and she was like, I said, what's wrong? So she told me about it, because it was just a bad day. Come give me a hug. And it was the best embrace. And whenever we were done, we didn't talk long. She looked at me and she was like, you have no idea how bad I needed that hug. And when I tell you, we dug in and worked out so hard, so cold that morning. It was a good day. So, but that's my story, just about people and me, subtractive friends that I've had for years, but it's like I just realized that they were takers. And I have literally been replacing them and just developing new friendships. And a lot of the new friendships that I have are in this room. So that's my story.
Everybody that was invited to a very special.
No. They are special. No, this was invitation only. And I said earlier, y'all are here because I wanted to share this with my most intimate friends. So these are my most intimate friends. You're extra.
Now, as far as in the morning, I'm retired. I don't do that because it scares the hell out of
Something you can say about that. You should talk to yourself.
I like running to the wall.
That's right.
No, because my little toilet's in like a water closet thing, so yes, I literally run into the wall.
How many people here really give themselves the self-affirmations that they need on a daily basis? Honestly, consciously, not just when you're in a bad spot, you're like, you can make it. I'm like, just in general, wake up, tell yourself you're the best. How many actually do that consciously, not unconsciously, consciously? Every day.
I do except for Sundays. Every morning, because at 3:25 a.m. when my alarm goes off, I go like this, you better get up and kill it today. The first thing I do, I don't walk by the mirror, but I come into the kitchen and I look around and I'm like, okay, where are your supplements, where's your water, where's everything? Then I go back to the bed. Every day except Sunday.
I cannot tell you how important it is in every one of you all's life. All of you. You will be amazed at how you will tackle the first problem by already letting yourself know that you can conquer it. See, if you don't tell yourself you can conquer, you walk into things with doubt. You walk into it. Do you really think that the best players in the world say, I ain't going to do good tonight, even if they're going to go 0 for 30? They already say I'm going to score 50 every night.
I can find myself giving that to someone else, but I don't give it to myself.
Yes. But that's normal. Believe it or not, that's normal. Because we are built for some reason to take care of everything that we see.
Yeah.
Guess what? The things that you're looking at when you're gone, guess what it's going to keep doing? Progressing. Learn to be selfish. See, I don't know why. We're taught not to be selfish. How can you take care of yourself if you're not? It's impossible. It's impossible. I have a way of thinking. I'm a person that love to drive everywhere. I don't like to ride with people. People like, man, why you like to drive? I said, because I know I'm going to make it safe. Because I'm not thinking about nobody else in the car. I'm thinking about me. I don't have time. You think about this. If I'm driving 10 hours and I'm thinking about 5 people, I might have an accident. But if I'm only thinking about Randy, I'm going to get there on time. Because I want to be there, so you all are good. That's how I walk every day. I got to find the best version of me. Even in the midst of my mistakes, I got to find the best version of me. That way, everybody that comes in contact with Randy gets the best version of me so they can make the best version of their self. Because if you walking up against a wall that's at 100, pretty good standards you got to chase. It's easy to hit 50%. But if you walk up on 100, you automatically got to push yourself to another level. Be the 100 every day. I challenge y'all with that one. It's easy. You don't have to look in the mirror to do it. You just wake up in the morning and say, whoo. I say thank you first. And the next thing I say is, I got this. No matter what comes in front of me, I am the man. Me, Randy G. I'm the man. Let's go. And I start 100 miles and running every day. People say, slow down. I say, I will one day. I got about another 50, 60 years for that to happen, though, at least. I really wanted to be about another 75. I want to see my great-grandbabies. And I speak it every day. I speak everything. If you don't take nothing from Coach Howell today, that's my witness. Everything that I want, I speak it. If I speak it wrong, I correct it, and I speak it correctly, because everything I speak comes to fruition because I don't stop asking. Am I lying? Everything.
Seriously.
This is on everything, no matter what it is. And people will tell you, you've been saying that for years. You've been saying that for years. My wife was blessed to be able to retire in March. And people be like, didn't me retire? Then people don't be like, yeah, man, you did good. You know, the first thing they tell me, boy, I remember when you were saying that back like 15, 16 years ago, that your mission was to find a way for your wife to retire. So it had nothing to do with money. It had to do with her peace. It had to do with her peace. I work for money every day. You work for money. Everybody in here get up in the morning and their goal is, I got to pay the damn bills. You might not say it out loud, but we all do it. I wanted her peace. Now I'm working on another level of peace. Then it's another level of peace. And then it's another level of peace. See, that's what we need. They tell you that peace is not real. Maybe not right now in totality. But by the time I get through with all the individuals, we won't be having this conversation no more. What you got?
Okay. So what I heard from both of you guys, that you were both giving. Yours was in counseling. Yours were to companions, your friends.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you realize, because it didn't sound like this was like a week or two, it sounds like this was years of giving. And when you've been doing something for several years, you're becoming immune to it, so it's like almost natural, second nature. What was the turning point? What made you think, oh, I'm not fulfilled, I'm not living in my truth? What was that turning point? What did it for you?
Actually, for me, it took an observer paying attention to me and saying, you sure like to help everybody else, but you are really messed up. You never pay attention to yourself. Because like I said, you only pay attention to what you're looking at. You want the prettiest picture all the time is what you see. You got to paint the picture here first. So once I heard that, I had to start paying attention. I said, you know what? You're right. That's Randy. That's Randy. And that's when I realized that the word that I was hearing my whole life that I didn't want to use was the word that I was neglecting, and that was N-O. You can't say yes to everybody, Randy. Everybody don't deserve it. Everybody don't deserve it. Some people have to earn it. I was giving it to everybody. It didn't matter who it was. Boom, boom, boom. But then I was the one that was contemplating suicide at night. I was the one that was over drinking. I was the one that was doing this and doing that. Best thing I can tell you is I had to realize and start listening to myself. See, do you know the voices that you hear sometimes, the screams that you hear in your head, and you're like, what the hell is that? That's you telling yourself to stop, forget about everything else, and concentrate on self. But then that real voice comes in and you say, I'll get back with you. And then you get home and you're like, guess what I did today? Then everybody goes to sleep and you can't. And like, damn. So listen, I should have took that 10 minutes and told that person I'll be right back. Get yourself together first, Randy. Now that I do that, it's actually cool. I've said yes so much that I get excited. I'll be like, babe, I said no today. I feel like she's like, what you mean? I'm like, babe, this same person I've been taking advantage of all these, I finally told them no. And she's like, there you go. You're finally getting it. Baby steps.
So
I hope.
in that first no, you were liberated. You knew then.
Oh my God. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. You know what's even more amazing for me? When I know, and this is very fresh for me, because I'm still growing. But when I have a task that's Randy's task that's been given to me that I need to do, but then another task comes in, and just say this task right here has high fiduciary benefits. I'm learning to say no to that for the moment and take care of what I'm supposed to do first, and stop making the fiduciary moment superior because it can bring some bread in. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, this is new to me. But those little moments are special. That's growth. That's growth. That's growth. And that's yes.
So when you said that first no, say for instance, no matter if it's family or friends, because sometimes that can drain you a lot. Mm-hmm. Did you have a feeling of resentment of giving that no? Like, did it kind of...
The first time I did, because I was like, man, I'm finna lose them.
Yeah.
But then guess what I realized? They had just called me when they needed me. I never had them. That was the thing that I realized. That's why I tell people all the time, they talk about relatives and family. I said, relatives just share blood. Family shares time. So there it is. And once I realized that, I started realizing, come on now, you got to do better than this. I say, I'm the type of person that I don't hold grudges if I don't call.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We good. We going to see like, bop, bop, bop. But you got some people that hold a grudge because you don't call, but you don't either.
Right.
Then the people that call you when they need something and expect for you to do it because we grew up together.
Right.
It's 2023. It's not 85 anymore. It's easy.
And this is personal for me. If I'm with somebody and we discuss what ticks my top and you do it, and we've had a discussion, you gotta go too. It's not just women, it's men too. And it's not no, we're gonna be friends, we can keep in touch, because if you don't value what I bring to the table, I don't wanna deal with you. A lot of people see me on social media. I do a lot by myself. Yeah. I'm happy by myself. I can be happy with a companion. I can be happy single. It doesn't matter to me. Just like my son. He got boundaries too. I'm tired. I'm ripping and running. I'm a single mom. Football. This is personal. My son has ADHD, so he sees an LPC and he has a licensed therapist that he sees every 3 months. By Friday, I'm exhausted because he's a starting football player. He's in the Passage Ministry. He ushers. I'm working 8 hours. I travel a lot. I've been to Hawaii 3 times since October. I've been to Salt Lake. I'm getting ready to go to Arizona. I got to go back to Hawaii probably 3 or 4 more times. I'm tired. So I said, you need, and it's like I said, single mom. So you know what that means. The dad is out there, but he ain't really doing nothing. Yeah. So I said, you gonna go to your dad's. But mom, and I know you got girls, and your girls are always with you, so we can kind of collaborate on how you and Demi get y'all peace of mind having the girls there homeschooling all the time. So I said, you gonna go with your dad? He said, well, mom, I really want to stay with you. No, you gonna go with your dad and let him get up and do something, because I'm tired. Even if I don't do nothing for 48 hours but lay in the bed, I need a break. So a lot of that comes in where when I say no, like Sylvia said, I'm cutting off friends. If you draining me, relationships, if you don't value what I bring to the table, you gotta go. Family, I'm not arguing. I talk to you when you stop screaming. I'm hanging up the phone. It upsets my anxiety. I'm done. Period. People don't see me with a lot of women. I have good friends, but I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do too much.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Is it okay to ask you a question about what we just talked about?
Go ahead.
One thing that I caught, and you don't know that you ran by it, but you shot by it. He said, I don't want to go. And he said, no, you gonna go. And you should have said, why?
Who should have said why?
You.
No, I ain't gonna ask you why.
No, listen to me. Listen to coach. Listen to coach. I don't want you, not in the feelings why. In the curiosity why. Because when you said the story, I got curious. I'm like, why? Not that I understand you're tired. Don't get me wrong, and you have right to be tired, but don't let the tired stop you from being curious. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that was curious. Somebody else heard it and was like, why? And I don't want to talk about me. You can talk. We're gonna talk separate. But I just want you to think about what I'm saying right now.
We can talk now.
Okay, well let's go. But do you understand why I got curious? Because and you're gonna take a kid. I'm gonna go back and be the kid that would say I don't want to and was never heard. It might not affect him now, but it could affect him 15 or 20 years down the road. Because if you said it once, you've probably said it more than once. And it's going to become discouraging to him to say in other instances, Mama, I don't want to, because he's already heard you're going to anyway.
But I got something for you.
Go for it.
How about this? When I say, ask your daddy to get them cleats, to get your medicine you take every day, to take you to practice, to take you to your therapist, to take you to your LPC, to take you to Passage, to take you to the barbershop, to take you everywhere he hadn't taken you in 14 years. What's his response? He don't have one.
That's why
so I don't have one for you.
But that's why what you said is the reason. Don't hold his reason against him because he has no control. Think about what I'm saying.
As a mother
exactly.
of a son who's a teenager now, they will remind you. You'll start to see when he gets older. Like the reason my son has boundaries. Like that's who I'm learning my boundaries with my 16-year-old son. But if you continue to drill that in him, he's never going to forget that. So that's just part of what he's trying to say. Like kind of ease out of that.
Yeah.
And maybe just have a more open conversation as to, well, what is the reasoning that you don't want to call him or to ask him to do certain things.
But I have to hear from him when my son say, talk to Dallas. And he thinking I'm telling him to say that.
See, the thing, first of all, the problem is this man is not holding himself accountable for nothing. Period. Let's just start right there. This man right there, he is not being the example that he should be for your son as a man. And I'm talking about when it comes to integrity. He has no integrity to do his son that way and to try to play him against the one person that does everything for him. All I'm saying is, if it has to be, don't make it feel to him as if it's pulling teeth. Because I'm telling you, if you keep pushing him to that bad side, he's going to eventually stay over there. And then you're going to have to ask yourself how you going to deal with that. Because next thing you're going to be saying is, I'm the one that did this. I'm the one that did this. But all he's going to remember is the one thing that was consistent. No, you're going. Because he needs to be doing this. You're going to say, well, since you think he needs to be doing it, I'm just going to figure out till he do. Then he's going to start doing it on his own. And that's a hard road to come back from. It's a hard road to come back from. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I love you. And I want you to have the best relationship with your son. I'm just telling you that my curiosity gave me a picture. and that picture didn't look good if you keep doing it that way. Find a softer way to do it. Find it with a conversation. Find it with explanation. Shit, sit him down and let him know the truth. Look here, this your daddy, but you know he really ain't doing nothing.
He already know.
Well, yeah, but you're going to have to talk to him differently, though. You got to have...
That means it's time for you to have that conversation.
My son make all A's and all B's. He knows.
And see, that's amazing.
We've been there, and my parents, everybody, we've been there. So I know what I got going. And just when I'm tired,
you tired.
I can't be functional.
I would rather you have him with you, and then y'all create your own boundaries and within the domicile. Like, you know, look here, son. You know, I understand you don't want to go with Pops. It's cool, but Mama needs some time.
You were saying we try to give something away that we haven't given to ourselves. And you were speaking of love.
Yes.
So you were saying that we try to give love away.
Exactly.
As a hairstylist, I would say I see a lot of women that I encourage them to love themselves well. So they may be loving themselves, but not loving themselves well. And two, you talked about being authentic and transparent.
Yes.
And I agree. I believe, my theory is, and I say it all the time, when you show up in a room authentically, you give people permission to be authentically you.
You're right.
And that goes back to, once again, you're trying to give away something that you're not really giving yourself.
I love it. That was amazing. Yeah, you spot on. No other way to put it. Not being attacked.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm cool.
Only being loved.
We cool.
Only being loved. And I know how much you love Dallas. I know how much you love your baby. I know how much you love your baby. Just listen to a baby that really ain't at home. You understand what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Because I wish somebody had talked to my moms the way I'm talking to you. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I don't want to. Go for it.
As a man who takes fatherhood very serious, anybody who knows me, they know that I take fatherhood very, and I think it's depressing when I see a man who does not take fatherhood serious. So I think for me, with my kids, I always, like Randy was talking about, even having that open door to where they can kind of talk to me about anything. What you don't have to worry about is somebody has to do it. Unfortunately, the majority of the time, majority of the time,
Yeah.
it is the mother.
It's the moms.
You know, but what I'll say is you don't have to worry about him eventually, or even saying anything about his dad. Eventually, he'll form his own opinion. You know, and what'll happen is he'll see you maybe one day at the NFL draft or the NBA draft, and he'll be crying while he's receiving his award, telling everybody what you've done for him. That can be your reward. You know, I said a few weeks ago, my son called me. I was fortunate for me to be able to raise my son. And his mom, I mean, I even commend her. She didn't want to, but for letting me have him to raise him. What he said to me a couple of weeks ago, it was like this crazy thing, and I was fighting back my tears. He called me one day because he has a son of his own, and he said, "Dad, man, I really appreciate you for what you've done for me and how you hung it out with me, how you raised me." And he said, "Man, if I could be half the father to my son that you've been to me," he was like, "I know my son will be okay." So that to me, everything I've done for him, that was my reward. You know, to know that I'm reaping the benefits of my harvest now. You know, so eventually you'll reap the benefits. It may seem tough now.
Now I'm reaping them, because I'm going to tell you something. My son is phenomenal. We don't have all good days, but we have more good days than bad days. He's always, even to his friends, he's ranting and raving about his mom. He's always saying, "Mom, the reason I do that is because I know you're going to come through." In all of his sports, my son won national taekwondo, he's soccer, he played football, basketball, he's done everything. When he looks up in the stands and don't see me at the game, he don't care if his dad don't show up. He care, but he don't care. But mentally, if he doesn't see me, like he don't want me to scream, because you know, he take the medicine, he got anxiety. Focus. He don't want me to scream and holler. As long as he see me, but if he doesn't see me, Mom, Where were you?
Yeah, I love it.
So he really is a good child.
Yeah.
It dawned on you that he put those responsibilities on you because you're dependable.
And that's another
That's a
thing.
good
He
one.
told you to come through.
That's a good
By
one.
the way, that's my daughter sitting by my
I was
sister.
just gonna say that.
She feels about her brother and her sibling.
You got that
This
right.
one and her family. I know that she's a very, and just like me, I mean, my parents are phenomenal. I wouldn't be able to do what I do, cause I've been to Hawaii like 3 times for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. My dad is retired government and Air Force veteran, Vietnam veteran. He is my #1 supporter. So where I'm weak, I have a village of just,
That's
and
all
there's
right.
a lot of people that, and Demi, I've been knowing Demi since, we've been friends since elementary school. And when Randy came in the picture, we all have been inseparable. And so it's a lot of friends that I have that pour into me. Like I told Randy on the video, if you see the video, I don't know if he's going to show it. Like Sylvia said, for years, I spent so much time going to events, going to parties, paying for stuff, cash apping people. This year was the first year in probably 5 to 10 years that I had myself an event. And everybody showed up. Like, you know what I told myself? I'm done fooling with the people that cause me anxiety, that don't value what I bring to the table. I'm gonna focus on Dallas. Actually, me and Sylvia and Cleo, we purchased our home around the same time. So for me, being a single mom, it was major. My second home, my first home I had for 13 years. Some of you don't know, the neighborhood that had the shooting was in my neighborhood. So we deal with a lot of things that people don't see daily. But like you said, my son is always grateful. It's still hard for me a lot because when I travel, I mean, that's how I pay what I pay. I don't want to go, but I'm not going to tell him I can't go. But I mean, it's challenges of being a single mom, you know. And then there's personal issues I have as well that I have to combine with his issues in one household. But I appreciate the words of encouragement. I really do.
I think you definitely can do it. I'm a single mom of 3.
Right.
And I think you definitely can do it because I was there where you're at. You're going to go stay with your dad. Send them over here, go there. But I tell you, I had to sit them down and talk to them and let them know, look, this is what I do for you on a daily basis. These are the sacrifices I make for you on a daily basis. So now this is what I want from you for myself. This is what I'm going to do from here on out. So you set yourself some boundaries with him. As he said before, both of you all have those boundaries. Whenever they're crossed, award yourself when you stick to your boundary, and discipline yourself when you don't. Because you have that choice to do that. He does too, and both of y'all together, you can make it work. Because at one point in time with me and my kids, I said, I'm not calling no more. I'm not asking him. I'm not doing anything.
That's me right there.
Because that's what I had to do because I was already doing it. So why was I asking something of someone when I was constantly getting the same old results? So if you want the same old results, you keep doing the same. So you have to do that.
That's a good one. Anybody gonna be selfish tomorrow?
Pam?
You ain't gonna be selfish tomorrow?
Well, yeah, I will.
You ain't gonna be selfish tomorrow?
You know, it's just gonna take me a little time. I'm getting there.
You gotta be selfish.
My son has really helped me with like creating boundaries. Like you have to tell people no.
Yeah, ooh.
And I think I've always been a person like if I say no, so I can say it to certain people, but not to everybody. But I think this year I'm starting to be able to say it more, but I still feel bad.
So the people that you can't say no to, why?
I think
That's a self-inflicted wound.
it is, and I think it's because of maybe the response back then, like you said before, losing that person. But if that person is meant to be lost, then this is what it is.
Have you ever been in a situation where you're afraid to tell a person no,
Yeah.
but you never ask yourself when they tell you no what you do?
Sure.
We never look at it that way.
No, we don't.
Most of the time, people don't care. They tell you what they want at that moment. I can't do it. And you be like, all right. But when you need to put yourself first, you worried about how they going to feel. The heck is that? You know, but it's okay. We all do it. It's not a conscious thing.
Yeah.
We are bred to build. We're not bred to take care of ourselves. We're bred to build. Women are already knowing in their mind, I have to reproduce. So you are bred. You're starting from day one. Already. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she is a mother. When she have her first child, that baby gonna be straight. Because she's been practicing her craft her whole life. I had to teach her what self-care was.
Yeah.
My baby's homeschooled. They've never been to any kind of anything. But my baby was going through some bad things because she was her own worst enemy.
I think that's probably was me. I was my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
I judge myself more than I could judge anybody else. I give myself more discipline than I would do for somebody who definitely needs it. So I think that's.
But whoever told you was doing wrong?
Nobody.
Exactly.
I just feel like.
So why are you beating yourself up? But you see where I'm going?
Right. It makes sense.
You're not doing anything wrong. You shot 1,000 free throws last night. You missed your first one. The coach has no reason to tell you that you didn't know what you was doing. You just missed it. And it's all right. Shoot it again. But if you don't tell yourself it's okay to miss it, you're going to beat yourself up because you should have did 1,001. Which makes more sense.
True. That's very true.
So I was just saying, it's time to be selfish. It's okay. It's going to be better for your son.
Okay.
Trust me.
That's something for yourself.
I'm telling you.
You know, you go in the store and the first thing you think about is the first.
Oh, talk to him, Terrell. Talk to him, Terrell.
It happened overnight. You gotta start thinking somewhere. Right. Remember, okay, no, I'm going right.
I think it's a process like I'm having to.
It is.
Like, it's okay to be selfish and to do it for yourself, not for everybody.
And you look, you go into a store and you know you're going to buy him something, but you see something for yourself. You know what's going to make you feel good when he say, Mama, you sure look good today. And you're going to be like, that's that moment I thought about myself.
Yeah.
That's the moment I thought about, I bought this shirt today, I thought about me.
You're right. You all right.
Because, kids going to take.
Yeah.
Because you're giving it to them. But they also appreciate when you give to yourself.
Right.
They appreciate
and
that.
And I learned that this year.
There you go. Look at that. Look, and we just in April. We still got a day left. We just a third of the way through?
Yeah.
We're just a third of the way through, and look what you've already done.
Yeah.
Imagine what the second of the three gonna do for you.
You're right.
By the time you hit September, you're gonna be like, look here. Yes.
No, and you get a no, and you get a no.
Yeah, but it's a chapter here called No versus No. That's N-O versus K-N on W. When you start to pay attention to the K-N, the no begins to have a purpose. But see, if you never pay attention to what you really know, you'll just accept it all.
And like I was saying when I was back there, like, it's easier for me to give someone else the advice to say no. But I can't do it for myself.
You know why?
I don't know why
Because you're afraid you're going to be by yourself, but you're already standing alone. That's the only reason why you're afraid to tell somebody no, because you think they're going to leave you. They wouldn't there anyway. See, you hoping on a dream that you get what you want to happen to come to fruition. It might
I
not.
would say this. I want to challenge everybody to become more self-aware whenever it comes to that type of person.
There you go.
Because that's what I had said earlier whenever I had first talked about chapter 9 or what have you. Becoming more self-aware, like LJ had asked about, she had asked both of us about, whenever we first realized it and saying no.
Yes.
I'll tell you my first realization where I really said to myself, well, I was going to really hone in on it. I had a bad day probably 4 weeks ago, and I called my brother. I said, you know what? I said, I'm about to tell you something. I said, this is about to hurt real bad. I said, this is about to hurt. I said, but I was having such a bad day. I called somebody that said, you can call me anytime if you need anything. And this has to do with the passing of my mom. And everybody knows you can't just graze over me if I'm calling you about that conversation. But this was a dear aunt of mine, one on my dad's side. Like, she's like the only person, one of the only aunts over there that had really had something to do with me, like just growing up, and I loved her dearly. But she had told me, you can call me for anything at any time if you ever need to talk, if you ever need anything. And so on this day, I was driving home and I felt, anxiety. I just felt overwhelmed. It was so much that had happened, like I was just crying the whole day. So I called her and she was like, how you doing, baby? And I said, I'm not having a good day today. And I just broke down and I started telling her everything. I said, I had this lady say this to me. I said, I can't even go to the grocery store without somebody bringing up my mom. I said, I can be at the gym and somebody want to talk about my mom. I could be at the beauty supply store, or I could be at a book signing and somebody want to come up to me and talk about my mom. I said, and I just need a break. I said, I'm about to lose it. I said, I need peace right now. The first thing that she said to me was, let me ask you something. Did you go to church today? And it wasn't about, church and every day. And I said, no, ma'am, I didn't. She said, well, I'm going to need you to do that. Maybe you need to do that, but I'm real busy right now. I got to get over here and cook and do blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to talk to you later. Click, and she hung up. I was in my garage at this time, and I sat in the car, and I leaned back. And I said, wow. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Shocked.
You were flabbergasted.
It's been times where I've been, there for her, like, and I said, wow. And so I sat in the car where my other norm would be to call my mom. I sat there and I said, I'm really by myself. I'm by myself and I'm lonely in this house. And I told my brother, I said, I would never give her that conversation again. I said, I'm telling you what I know. I said, I love her. I said, but I would never give her that conversation again. But what it has created with me and this particular aunt, I have such a boundary with her now, whereas if she called, I would answer the phone immediately. I send this woman a voice message. Because if I'm not mentally prepared to hear what you got to say, I'm not going to talk to you right now. Because I don't know how I'm going to respond to you. So I say be more self-aware because that has been in her the whole time. I just overlooked it. And she caught me in one of those moments where I was like, I'm not going to deal with it anymore. So I say be self-aware because we have so many people in our lives, they know how to get to us and to get what they want, and we don't even realize that we're puppets of theirs. And they're sucking the life out of us. So I say be more self-aware and reflect on who's around you and who's in your circle. I got about a good 6 people, and the majority of them are in this room right now. Whenever it comes down to my deep conversation, mom and all that other kind of stuff, 1 second. Because I'm getting to the point now. I know. But lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, Mary. I'm sorry. I lost it.
You come back.
Lost my train. Yeah, 6 people in the room that I can have good, intimate conversations with in my deepest hour. Everybody else, I'm done with them. But guess what now? I get the phone calls up. Where you been? And I haven't talked to you in a while. You know what? I've been here, but let me give you a call back. It's no love lost, but I'm going to have to give you a call back. So I have a call back crew that I really don't call back, and then I got my 8-woman But that self-reflection and being self-aware, whenever that happened to me 4 weeks ago, I had another friend, I kid y'all not. It's not difficult for me now. Because my health, my mental health, even my therapist picked it out. She picked up a pattern. I've been going back to her consistently for 2 years. She said, you're always doing for everybody else. Nobody do nothing for you. When are you going to wake up and realize and tell some of these people no? So I was like, I don't do everything for everybody. Then I was like, well, you know what? Yeah, I really do. So that's what I meant by like self-preservation and saving yourself for those that really deserve it and things of that nature. But just watch your corner, watch your seats, so that's all I got.
That was good. I like that. I like that. That was good. That was good.
To say no and to stop dealing with everybody. And I'm not being funny. I'm gonna call Twan out. This young man right here. This is the DJ. I'm sorry. But it has been times where I have had a dark moment. And sometimes, because we got group chat, because we work out together at the same gym, I'll call him and he'll be like, well, what's up? And this man will stop everything he's doing and he's listening.
Commend you for that friendship.
He has been in my life for 5-6 years, and he's a great listener. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it don't have to be the 20-year friendship. It could be the new ones. He gonna stop and be like, are you good? Hold on for a minute. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. This is what's going on, blah, blah. He has been able to get me to like realize things from a different aspect where I was about to go off and cuss somebody out. I'm about to cuss this heifer out, Twan. Guess what just happened? Well, what happened? I don't think you need to cuss him out though, because I don't think they need to do You need to chill out a little bit. I don't think
Yeah.
like back up a little bit, sis. Michelle. It ain't that deep. And I'm like, you don't think so? Because I'm like right here, right now, looking at the nigga's face. I can get it right now. You know, and he's talked me off of it. But just, it's new friendships that, you know, them 20 year, 30 year friendships that we've been abused.
Yes.
We've been abused by a lot of them. Them jokers losing, they gonna hurt.
Sometimes the years become obligation. Sometimes those years just become obligation.
Yeah, that's true.
It's sad that it has to take a moment like that though for you to realize, like a big moment in your life. It can be a happy moment or a sad moment, but for those moments in your life, for you to realize that people are really not in your corner. Like I feel like that's really what's hurtful. You know, like when she's saying 20-year relationships, you're thinking, oh my God, this is my best friend. You're calling this person your best friend, and they're really.
Well, you want me to tell you how I sum up the word best friend? I said this to somebody the other day. I said, just because you give them the title best friend doesn't mean they want the best for you.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna use you as an example. This is her wedding day, okay? And someone who was close to her, it was just like it just took it and turned it upside down. And she was so upset. And it was like, we're not doing this. This is your day to enjoy. And it was just like, after she thought about it more and more, she's seen the signs, but it was like she ignored it. You know?
And I was like, Sylvia, I almost fought her, and she didn't.
Yeah.
They are my wedding, like,
Yeah. Nobody should never have to endure something like that on a day that is going to be etched in their mind forever. But anytime we even joke about it, we come back to that moment like, can you believe she really did? You know, but there was somebody who was supposed to be her best friend, you know? So I feel like you're right. Like even these 20-year relationships, they're not doing nothing for me. Like, I'm good. And I'm a person who has learned to accept even being in my own space and enjoying my own time.
It's beautiful too, isn't it?
It is.
It's beautiful.
So learning to meditate and just absorbing and taking that time, like, Pam, this is for you. Like you gotta do this for you. Like, and I get it. I get it now. So but it takes time. So, but I'm gonna be selfish though.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've been criticized over the years for being the man that don't ever want to be around his wife. I want to be around her 24 hours a day. So I get criticized for not wanting to give the guys nights out, things like that. I get called a lot of different things. But who put the blueprint on to say that I had to give my energy to a lot of people? You feel just because there's a lot of people out there don't mean I got to give my energy to everybody. You know what I mean? You got to give your energy to the people that are going to reciprocate what you're giving out. Stop putting yourself in situations because somebody might have something to say.
You're right.
Guess what? They're going to say something about it if you're doing it the other way anyway. So wouldn't you rather them talk about you doing what you want to do than what they think you should be doing? One thing that's always baffled me, people walk around in depression, sad all the time. They don't talk about it. But boy, when you have a happy day, you want to tell the world. But ain't enough people telling the world though. But ain't nobody telling the world enough how good they doing. Because there are enough happy people. Because won't nobody tell people how to be happy. It's okay to be happy, y'all. It's okay to be happy, y'all. It's okay to be happy.
It also is okay for you not to care what people think.
But guess what that's called? Being happy. Because once you stop worrying about everybody else, you start to get a little better with yourself. You start feeling a little better. You start realizing, you know what I got? It's okay for me to make sure I'm at home at this time to watch my show. And guess what? I'm not going to answer my show on from 5 to 6.
I'm not going to talk on the phone.
There you go.
That's one thing I'm good at. Like, you can call me all day long. I could care less. I would look at you calling me and not answer.
See, I told you.
I mean, I guess, I would like to ask you a question that brings it back to, like, the focus of your book.
Okay.
It's a very simple but complex question, I guess. How do we tell ourselves the truth?
This is actually why we're here. It's actually why we're here.
Yeah.
She wanted people to understand how to tell their story. And I was asked, how do you do it? It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Because more than likely, where you have to start is one of the darkest places you've ever been. And, you know, I've been told that I'm not supposed to dwell on things of that nature. Like, I was told, you don't talk about rape, you don't talk about this, you don't talk about that, because it's too sensitive. I'm like, I feel you. But I cannot live with someone living in misery. So you have to go back to one of the darkest places that you've possibly ever been, because that's where your first story needs to start. Your first story. So the way you do it is you just do it. And the best way to give examples is through self. I was raised in a 2-parent home, and I got all the love I needed. Brothers, sisters, cousins, everything, in the 9 yards. But that did not equate to happiness because of the word no that came from my mom. I love my mom. She is what she is. She didn't know she was doing wrong. But at the time, I didn't realize it because I was a kid. Then I become an adult, and I'm just holding grudges. You feel what I'm saying? I'm holding grudges. I can't believe she did this. I can't believe she did that. But one day I woke up and I said, you know what? I do it. It didn't happen until I got my girls. And I realized that I was hurting them in ways that I didn't realize I was hurting them. But I did the one thing that had never done to me. I asked them, what am I doing wrong? But that also helped me to say, I forgive you, even though you know not what you did wrong. Now, that doesn't fix relationships, but it does free you. And that's what we need. So you can't always go through life wanting to free everybody else. Sometimes you just need to free yourself. Sometimes you just got to free yourself. So when it comes to telling your story, tell your story. Yours. No matter how stupid it may seem to anybody or yourself. Tell your story. Because that's how you find the answers. To put the puzzle pieces together. See, we live a lot of lives within one life. How long are you going to stay stuck in the one that you need to flush down the damn toilet? Now, if you have to flush everything that comes with that part of your story down the toilet to be happy here, I grant you permission. Because happiness is important for the rest of the people that are going to be in your life moving forward. See, we get so caught up in what's behind us that we forget that it's a whole lot in front of us. You're going to affect what's in front of you, not what you've already lost. So what version of you do you want to give to the next person that walks in that door? I ask myself that 100 times a day. What do I want to be to the next person that I see? I want to be Randy G. The smile, full of energy, and always happy. The only way to do that is to tell my story, let it go, and move forward. Can you all do that? A lot of you are going to be afraid. It's okay to be afraid. Guess what? You're afraid not to tell your story. So why not just be afraid and tell your story? You're going to help somebody else. Yes, ma'am.
So as you were writing your book, knowing that this book, every chapter, every part of it, you were like really releasing something.
Yes, ma'am.
Or had already done. What emotions were you feeling as you were typing or writing out each chapter? What were you feeling? And at the end of it, did you feel like you were finished? Or did it feel like there would be another book?
It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning. I went through, put it this way, how long was it? Was it 2 years? I've been, you see, I think I wrote this little book for like 2 years. Hardest thing I ever did in my life. But when I actually wrote it, I wrote it in less than 12 hours. Like literally, when Like, I literally wrote it in less than 12 hours. And I went through every emotion that exists. Every that exists. Happiness, sadness. Oh my God. I went through everything. But when I finished, and then I read it. See, when I finished it, I didn't get it. It was when I went back and read it. And I said, babe, I did it. I said, I left it all on the line. But I did the one thing I wanted to do. Like Sylvia said, I gave you a reason to go back. Because that's what I wanted. I wanted a reason to go back. I didn't want to give you everything and then you'd be like, oh, coach gave it to me. I need you to go back and say, let me read that again because this just might go with what I got going on today and totally different what I read yesterday. See, that's what we need. We need a progression in a minimalistic type of way. We don't have the time. So I was given the truth in what?
I have a question.
60-some pages.
Yeah.
So that everybody enjoy themselves. That's what I needed. Thank you all. Huh?